Your birth certificate is lying to you. It says you're 40, but your cells, they might be living in the body of a 60-year-old, or, and this is where it gets extraordinary, the body of a 25-year-old. This isn't science fiction. This is epigenetics. This is the new frontier of human longevity. And today I'm going to give you 10 practical habits that can literally turn back the clock at the cellular level. Because here's the truth most doctors won't tell you: aging is not a fixed sentence, it's a process, and processes can be slowed, interrupted, in some cases, reversed. Let's get into it. We measure biological age using something called the epigenetic clock, a tool developed by scientists like Dr. Steve Horvath that reads chemical tags on your DNA called methylation markers. These markers shift as you age. But here's what's revolutionary: lifestyle interventions can actually reset these markers. Studies are now showing biological age reductions of 3, 5, even 11 years in humans through targeted habits, not drugs, not surgery, habits. So, what are they? Habit 1: temperature stress. Your body hates comfort. When you step into a cold shower, we're talking 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, your body triggers an ancient survival response. Norepinephrine spikes by up to 300%. Cold shock proteins are activated. Your mitochondria get forced to become more efficient. And here's the kicker: regular cold exposure has been shown to reduce chronic inflammation, one of the primary drivers of accelerated aging. We call it inflammaging. Cold is the antidote, but cold is only half the story. Add heat. The sauna, used 4 times per week for 20 minutes, reduces all-cause mortality by 40% according to landmark Finnish studies. Why? Heat shock proteins, or HSPs. These molecular chaperones repair misfolded proteins inside your cells. Misfolded proteins are a hallmark of diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and general cellular aging. The sauna is functionally a cellular repair mechanism for free. Cold, heat, stress the system, watch it grow stronger. Habit 2: activate your sirtuins. Sirtuins are a family of proteins, Sirt1 through Sirt7, that David Sinclair's lab at Harvard has linked directly to longevity regulation. They repair DNA damage, they regulate inflammation, they control cellular survival. And you can turn them on with food. Dark chocolate, at least 85% cacao, contains Epication, a powerful sirtuin activator. Blueberries and other dark berries contain resveratrol and pterostilbene. Green tea delivers EGCG, epigalactine gallate, one of the most studied anti-aging compounds on the planet. Red wine in moderate amounts carries resveratrol. Fasting, even a 16-hour intermittent fast, dramatically upregulates sirtuin activity. These aren't supplements. This is your plate. This is your cup of tea in the morning. Every single choice either accelerates aging or slows it. Habit 3: muscle is not just aesthetic, it is medicine. Here's a data point that should stop you in your tracks. Grip strength is one of the single most powerful predictors of all-cause mortality ever identified. A study published in The Lancet tracked 140,000 people across 17 countries. Lower grip strength predicted cardiovascular death, respiratory death, cancer death, more powerfully than blood pressure, more powerfully than cholesterol. Why? Because muscle tissue is metabolically active. It secretes myokines, signaling molecules that reduce inflammation, stimulate neurogenesis in the brain, and regulate insulin sensitivity. Sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, begins in your 30s and accelerates with every decade of inactivity. Resistance training 3 to 4 times per week doesn't just make you look better. It rewires your metabolic identity at the cellular level. It's the closest thing we have to a longevity drug that doesn't come in a pill. Habit 4, non-exercise activity, thermogenesis, NEAT, and Zone 2 cardio. You might think the gym covers your movement needs. It doesn't. NEAT is all the movement you do outside structured exercise. Walking to the kitchen, taking the stairs, fidgeting, standing at your desk. Research shows that highly active people, those who sit less than 3 hours a day, have telomeres that are biologically 10 years younger than sedentary counterparts. Telomeres are the protective caps on your DNA. When they shorten, you age. Movement preserves them. Layer in Zone 2 cardio. That's a pace where you can hold a conversation but just barely. 45 minutes, 3 times a week. At this intensity, you're training your mitochondria, the power generators of your cells, to become more efficient. More mitochondria, more energy, slower aging at the cellular engine level. Walk more, sit less. It sounds too simple. That's the point. The most powerful interventions usually do. Habit 5. Destroy your zombie cells. This one sounds alarming because it is. As you age, damaged cells that should die don't. Instead of undergoing apoptosis, programmed cell death, they linger. They become senescent, zombie cells. And they don't stay quiet. They secrete toxic inflammatory signals called the senescence associated secretory phenotype, or SASP. They poison neighboring healthy cells. They accelerate tissue aging around them. By age 70, a significant portion of cells in certain tissues are senescent. The question is, how do you clear them? Fasting. Quercetin, found in capers, red onions, and apples. Dasatinib is a pharmaceutical option being studied in clinical trials. Fisetin, found in strawberries, has shown remarkable senolytic effects in animal studies, eliminating up to 50% of senescent cells in certain tissues. This is one of the most exciting areas in longevity science. You can start today with food. 1 cup of strawberries, 1 red onion, compounding biology in your favor. Habit 6. Sleep architecture. Not just hours, quality. 1 hour of deep sleep. Stage 3 slow wave sleep does more for cellular repair than 4 hours of light sleep. During deep sleep, your glymphatic system activates. It's the brain's waste disposal system. It flushes out amyloid beta plaques, the very proteins associated with Alzheimer's disease. It clears metabolic debris accumulated during the day. Deep sleep is also when human growth hormone pulses to its daily peak, driving tissue repair, cellular regeneration, fat metabolism. Miss it, and you're skipping the body's nightly maintenance cycle. Optimize for deep sleep. Keep your room at 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. No alcohol within 3 hours of bedtime. Alcohol destroys sleep architecture even if it helps you fall asleep. Wear blue light blocking glasses after sunset. Use a consistent sleep and wake time. Your circadian clock is a biological reality, not a preference. Sleep is the most underrated longevity tool on the planet. Full stop. Habit 7. Control your glucose. Chronically elevated blood sugar is one of the fastest paths to accelerated aging. Glucose binds to proteins in a process called glycation, forming advanced glycation end products, AGEs, literally named after what they do. They damage collagen, stiffen arteries, cloud the lens of the eye, and accelerate neurodegeneration. A continuous glucose monitor will show you exactly how your body responds to food. Berberine, taken with meals, mimics the glucose-lowering effect of metformin. Walk after eating. Even a 10-minute post-meal walk reduces glucose spikes by up to 30%. Eat protein and fiber before carbohydrates. Sequence matters. Control the sugar. Control the clock. Habit 8. Optimize your light environment. This sounds unconventional. It is foundational. Morning sunlight, within 30 minutes of waking, hits your retinas and sets your master circadian clock. It regulates cortisol timing, serotonin production, and ultimately melatonin release 12 to 16 hours later. People who get morning sunlight sleep better, have lower cortisol, and show better metabolic markers. Dr. Andrew Huberman calls it the most important behavioral tool for health optimization. It costs nothing. It takes 10 minutes. Go outside. Look toward the sky, not directly at the sun. Let the photons do the work. Circadian misalignment, caused by artificial light at night, irregular sleep schedules, and minimal morning light, is now linked to metabolic disease, accelerated telomere shortening, and increased cancer risk. Light is a drug. Use it intentionally. Habit 9. Manage psychological stress with precision. Chronic psychological stress elevates cortisol. Chronically elevated cortisol shortens telomeres, suppresses immune function, increases visceral fat, and damages the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. Stress doesn't just feel bad, it ages you at the molecular level. Meditation, even 10 minutes per day, has been shown to measurably lengthen telomeres in long-term practitioners. Breath work, specifically the physiological sigh, a double inhale through the nose followed by a long exhale through the mouth, activates the parasympathetic nervous system within 2 breath cycles. This is peer-reviewed science from Stanford. The mind-body interface is not mysticism, it is molecular biology. Manage stress with the same rigor you manage your diet. Habit 10. Strategic supplementation. The evidence-based shortlist. NMN or NR, precursors to NAD+, a coenzyme that declines by 50% between ages 40 and 60 and is critical for sirtuin function and DNA repair. Omega-3 fatty acids, shown in a 2022 Nature Aging study to reduce biological age. Magnesium glycinate, involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions and critical for deep sleep. Vitamin D3 with K2, the majority of the Western world is deficient. Creatine, neuroprotective, performance enhancing, and increasingly linked to longevity outcomes. Supplementation is not a replacement for lifestyle. It is a precision layer on top of it. Here's what I want you to understand. Every single one of these habits operates through your biology, not around it. They speak the language your cells were designed to respond to: cold, heat, movement, sleep, food, light, stress management. Your biological age is not locked in. It is being written right now by the choices you make today. The question isn't whether you can reverse it. The science says you can. The question is, will you start? Begin with one habit. Stack another next week. In 90 days, run a biological age test. Companies like TrueMe or Elysium Health offer epigenetic testing for under $200. See the data. Let the results motivate the next level. You are not your birth certificate. You are your biology, and biology, unlike time, responds to pressure. Start today.